Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Gideon. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. So for today's video, I thought I would talk about a fragrance brand which I absolutely love. It's one of my most loved niche brands, and it is actually a UK based brand, which is awesome, and it's Miller Harris. So I thought I would talk a bit about Miller Harris and 5 of the fragrances that I own from the brand, because I love what the brand stands for, guys. I think this brand, okay, so Miller Harris was founded in 2000 by Lynn Harris, who is also a perfumer. She since has left the brand, I believe, in 2014. I'm not sure if the brand was sold on or if other people came in and invested in the company. I think some other investors came in and she no longer runs the company, or she left. Anyways, so why do I love Miller Harris? Well, I love their fragrances. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But what I really love is I think they manage that fine balance of creating really good quality fragrances with great natural ingredients, whilst also being ethical and environmentally sustainable as well. Um, yeah, so Miller Harris is all about kind of being ethical, using good quality ingredients, trying to source locally as much as possible, collaborating, for example, with local artists on their storefronts to create their amazing storefronts. So if you've ever been past a Miller Harris store, which is a privilege to go past Miller Harris store because they're so beautiful, that was actually how I first discovered the brand. Was literally, I think I was walking past one of the Covent Garden stores and I stopped and I was like, whoa, this is really incredible. Like, what is this store? And obviously I realized it was a fragrance brand, and they sold amazing fragrances and really nice customer service too. So all around a great brand, and quite reasonably priced as well. And what I love about this brand is they always do promotions, offers. They do things like bring an empty bottle of your fragrance that you finished, and you can get it not refilled, but you can get another fragrance for half the price, by recycling your empty fragrance bottle. And it could have been any empty fragrance. That's just an example of the type of promotion they do. um, I would recommend, if you're into niche perfumes, sign up to Miller Harris's mailing list, because they'll keep you updated. For example, they do loads of offers throughout the year, like 25% off. They recently did 50% off, so I treated myself to a couple of fragrances. And what else do they do? Yeah, they just do loads of different offers throughout the year. Like, you can get 100 ml for the price of 50 ml, etc. They're just a really nice, positive brand, and yeah, I really like that about them. And they're British as well, and yeah, it makes me proud, because obviously being from the UK and seeing great brands doing great things, it's inspiring, isn't it? So let me start with the fragrances I have. I think I have quite a good selection of fragrances here. I'm going to start with their bestseller, which is Scherzo. I think that's how you pronounce this fragrance. Now, what's really interesting about this brand again, and this fragrance, is they have really interesting stories. So this fragrance was inspired by a passage from a book by F. Scott Fitzgerald, I believe, and it was from a passage called Tender is the Night. And yeah, this is inspired by it. And this is actually their bestseller, Scherzo. So Scherzo is a very warm, sweet, kind of oriental fragrance. Now, I get loads of the vanilla in this fragrance. This has vanilla, it has some patchouli, narcissus. I think it's definitely got oud in this. 100% got some oud. But the oud, it's a very kind of soft oud. It kind of is almost in the background. It doesn't scream. It's not harsh or aggressive. It's kind of warm, and it really complements all the notes in this fragrance. In one word, I'll describe this fragrance as quite luxurious. It smells very luxurious, classy, elegant, and I'd say this is more of an evening type of fragrance. And I really, really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy this fragrance. And the great thing is, this was actually the first fragrance I bought from the house. The reason I bought it is because if you ever go past Miller Harris store now, Miller Harris stores, they catch you just how beautiful they are. They often have these beautiful storefronts with like lots of flowers in the store and neon lights, and it's very kind of avant-garde and creative and very, very interesting. And they pump out Skeletor through an electronic diffuser, so the whole of the street smells of this amazing fragrance. And I remember, like, between being in awe of how beautiful the outside of the store was and smelling this amazing fragrance, I was like, yeah, you got me. So after a few more visits, I went and I treated myself for this. They were actually doing a promotion for, I think, 25% off in the store, so I bought it at that time. And yeah, I really, really love this fragrance. The next fragrance I'm going to talk about is one I've mentioned in a few of my fragrance videos. It is La Fumée Alexandrie. This was inspired by, from what I've read, travels to Alexandria in Egypt. So this is more of a kind of spicy, aromatic rose oud fragrance, quite smoky, spicy, sweet. I think there's a little bit of cinnamon and either nutmeg or cardamom or something like that in this. This is just really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful, and this could work spring, but I prefer to wear this kind of autumn winter months. Kind of like Scherzo as well. I think that's more of a autumnal winter fragrance as opposed to more of a spring summer, because it's quite heavy. This could possibly be a spring fragrance, kind of the early months of spring, but I wouldn't wear this in the heights of summer. It's still a bit spicy and a little bit heavy, but kind of fresh at the same time. And I really, really love this fragrance. Really, really amazing fragrance. That's La Fumée Alexandrie. The next two fragrances are from the Forage collection of Miller Harris, and these are kind of inspired by the green urban spaces of London, and that's really where they took inspiration from these fragrances. So the first one is called Dance Amongst the Lace, and this is one of my newest acquisitions. This is a lovely green citrusy fragrance. That's the best way I can start to describe it. So it's got some verbena, it's got vetiver, and it's got some lovely oak moss in this fragrance. So it's not just your typical boring citrus fragrance, because I've been looking for nice, interesting citrus type fragrances for quite some time, and I sampled this a good few times. I wasn't sure at first, but what I love is as this fragrance develops and dries down, it just has this kind of warm greenness at the same time, and all the notes just really blend really nicely together, and it really kind of is a very cheerful, happy fragrance. And during the high heat months of summer, I think this is going to be amazing, so I had to get this fragrance. The next one from the Forage collection that I got is called Lost, and this is predominantly a rhubarb fragrance. It reminds me a lot of the Hermès Rhubarbe Éclat, which I'm a massive fan of. However, it's not as bitter as that fragrance. There is some greenness to this fragrance. So there's geranium, there's some Earl Grey tea, there's some lovely musk, and some amber in this as well. So it's just such a clean, fresh, again, very uplifting fragrance, which is going to be perfect for summer. So the final fragrance I wanted to talk about is called Craft and Glamour. And this is celebrating the Royal Opera House here in London. And as this fragrance says, so Craft and Glamour is all about celebrating not just the Royal Opera House in the sense of the performers and the arts, but also the backstage and all the kind of hard work that goes into creating the amazing performances that go on at the Royal Opera House. So this fragrance is all about bergamot. I think there's some pink berries, some tonka bean, some musk, some cashmere woods, and patchouli. This is a warm, slightly spicy aromatic fragrance, and one which I really, really love. It's very different again to fragrances that I've smelt from other brands, and that's what I like about these. I feel like all of their fragrances have a bit of character, have something really interesting and fun about them, and I really love this fragrance house. I feel like I could probably buy more. I'd like to probably get some from the La Fumée. There's another fragrance called La Fumée Intense, which I would like to get, which is a more oriental fragrance, but I feel like for now I'm good with what I have. But yeah, that was the final fragrance. This is a perfect fragrance for kind of this time of year, really, kind of autumn, spring. I wouldn't wear it in the high heat of summer just because it's quite warm and somewhat a little bit on the heavy side. So yeah, I think this time of year will be perfect for this fragrance. Very classy, quite opulent, and I love the story behind this as well. Yeah, so those are my fragrances. I hope to get more from this brand. I think Miller Harris really is a great brand, and I love how they support local artists, and even the bags that they create. This was all created by artists. You get lots of information on the back. On the back, they kind of tell you about all the different fragrances they have. So tea tonic for the social animal. Some of these I'm not going to try and pronounce because my French is a little bit so-so. Rose en Noir, the sensual and dark side of the rose. So I just think I like stuff like this. I like brands which are a bit quirky, have character, they're interesting, and they have a story to tell. That's what I love about the brand. Yeah, so when we all get a chance, do go out and check out Miller Harris or go online. Great brand. They always have amazing offers, so I would recommend signing up to their newsletter to get more information. Oh, fun fact, they also created a fragrance for Jane Birkin, the actress, and I think that was L'air de Rennes, I think that's how you pronounce it. And they also created a bespoke fragrance for Manolo Blahnik. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Please like, comment and subscribe, because when I do hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing an awesome giveaway. I'm even thinking I might give away one of the Miller Harris fragrances. I don't know, I'll come up with something really cool for a giveaway, so do subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much.